This is Double Up Blackjack. Double Up is played similar to traditional blackjack, but with a few twists. In Double Up, the dealer will stand on all 16s. All bets under 21 push, and 21 totals get paid 1-to-1. The Double Up wager allows the player to double up their wager without taking an extra card. You are allowed to put more money in the game when you have a good hand. In this first hand, the player has 8s against a dealer 5. The player is going to split their 8s, just like traditional blackjack. On the first hand, the player gets an 18 and wants to double up. The player is allowed to match their original wager without having to take another card. The player gets an 18 on the second hand and wants to double up again. The dealer shows 15 and hits to 17. The 16 bonus wager loses because the dealer does not have 16, but all other wager pay 1-to-1. This time, the player has 20 and again wants to double up against the dealer's 5. The dealer busts, and the wagers pay 1-to-1. The player has aces and wants to split. On split aces, the player can only receive 1 card on each hand. However, even though the player has 21, they are still allowed to double up. The dealer shows an 18, and all wagers pay 1-to-1. On this hand, the player has 17 with a $1 16 bonus bet. The player stands on his 17 and the dealer turns over a 16. The 16 bonus is going to pay 4-to-1 because the dealer has a 2-card 16 and the main wager is going to push. This time the player has 16 and wants to hit. The player gets a 5, making 21. The dealer turns over a 16. The 16 bonus pays 4-to-1, and the main wager wins 1-to-1 because all 21 totals get paid when the dealer has 16. This time, the player gets a blackjack and is paid 3-to-2 or 1.5 of their wager. The player has a 20 and wants to double up into the dealer's 10. The dealers turn over a 20. The main wager pushes, but the double-up wager loses. In order for the double-up to win, it must beat the dealer's hand. Otherwise, it loses. The player has 20 and wants to double up. The dealer turns over 5 and has to hit. After 3 hit cards, the dealer has 16 and has to stop. The 16 bonus is going to pay 50-to-1 because of a 5-card 16, and the main wager and double-up wager will push. The player has 19 and wants to double up. The dealer turns over a 19 also. The 16 bonus loses. The double-up bet loses, but the main wager pushes. In this hand, the player decided to hit his 13 and busts. The main wager loses. However, the player has a 16 bonus wager that is still active, even though he busted. The dealer turns over 16, and the 16 bonus pays 4-to-1. The dealer must have queen high in order to qualify.